Welcome to our sixth module in Creation Theology in the Bible. Let me walk you through the activities laid out for us for this coming week. First of all, we've got the two texts and a video here that are going to introduce you to the text. The two texts are Proverbs 8 and 2 Maccabees 7. And watch the video and do those inductive studies and get them ready to turn in, and then also have discussion around materials you see there. There's a set of required readings, to a chapter from Brown, a chapter from Fretheim, and then another one here. There's a link to Mary Radford Ruther's article on religious ecofeminism, and you're going to need to read that. Read it carefully because it's going to form one of the foundations, materials from which we're going to base our discussion. And then there are additional readings here to bring the balance up to 2 hours. So you can pick some things here. In addition, you can pick some readings related to the topic for your final report. Let me see, moving back up here then. We're going to study these texts, put them in the Dropbox. And then you're going to do a project related to some work related to your final project. Last week you started finding some information resources, some articles and some books, and started to get those flowing your direction. Hopefully you've gotten your hands on them and you've started to read some of them now. During this week I want you to identify a list of the 5 best or most helpful ideas from your readings that you are going to interact with or that are going to show up in some way in your final report. So identify 5 now. If they don't end up being exactly those 5 later on, that we'll deal with that later. But for right now, I need you to find 5 good, solid ideas and sort of outline what they are, and make one of your posts this week telling us what those 5 ideas are and where they came from. So that's the work for this week on the final project related to stage 5, and you'll get your 10 points for this week, or maybe it's 15 or 20 points, I don't know what it is, by doing that part of the project. Then we'll move into a discussion for this module. Again, the discussion tries to connect up, let me make this bigger here, connect up the inductive studies and the reading you did. So let me just work through this thing. The text in Proverbs 8 is one of the most potent statements of creation theology in the Old Testament. If Christ is the agent of creation in the New Testament, wisdom is the agent of creation in the Old Testament. And wisdom is personified in Proverbs 8 and speaks to the reader as a remarkable woman, making the case that wisdom ought to be cherished above all by people of faith. So now then, on the other hand, you read Mary Radford Ruther's work on ecofeminism, and in it you'll be exposed to, if you haven't been exposed to them before, the standard claims of ecofeminism, namely that men have pretty much the same relationship with and attitude towards nature as they do toward women, or put it the other way around, the same towards women as they do with nature, and that the centerpiece of that attitude is an urge to dominate. The word dominion in itself wouldn't necessarily have to be a negative thing, but the critique of ecofeminism is that dominion has come to be understood and practiced by men in ways that are destructive to those on the receiving end of it. By framing things this way, then, ecofeminism is clearly simultaneously pointing to 2 sets of relationships that need improvement, one between men and women and the other between humans and nature. So in the face of that sort of wake-up call of ecofeminism, Proverbs 8 comes to us as this feminine character, wisdom, clothed in a very feminine persona, and want us to kind of bring these 2 things together. How would you bring them together? And one idea might be that Proverbs 8 has something like an antidote to those negative forms of dominion, cherishing, valuing, pursuing as though it's the most important thing, wisdom, that is to say. What does this look like for nature? And is this kind of attitude would be the opposite of the dominion attitude? What does that look like for nature? What does it mean to cherish and value it, and the wisdom that stands behind it? And then apply the same thing to women, men's relationship toward women. What should that look like? and give some ideas there. So how do we bring the biblical ideas of dominion, wisdom, and cherishing together into a healthy balance? That's the discussion question that we'll take up at the end of the week. So here we go. I think that sort of gave you an overview for the work for this week, and look forward to seeing you in cyberspace.